Terry sent me this picture from Hackett of tonight's full moon, the July full moon. What's the big deal about it? How does it get its name? Well, Native American tribes associated the July full moon with around the same time that deer would begin to fully grow their antlers. And so that's where it gets its name. It actually went full earlier this afternoon. We're just now being able to see it out there. And thankfully, the clouds are cooperating, mostly clear sky out there tonight. For the deer hunters that are wondering, 121 days between now and the opening of modern gun deer season. Sure as heck doesn't feel like it out there. Tomorrow's going to be another scorcher, 90s area wide, low 90s in northwest Arkansas, mid to upper 90s expected here in the River Valley. Notice those winds. Could get a bit breezy out there, especially late morning, early afternoon. We're thinking 10 to 20 miles per hour. Not a big deal, but maybe it helps it feel a little bit better out there. The reality, though, those winds coming in out of the south are going to be full of Gulf moisture. It's going to be humid, and it's not going to get much better anytime soon. That humidity is a key factor in the weekend forecast. Here comes a front. It's a slow-moving cold front that is eventually going to be working its way our direction. And it does get here this weekend. It's in no hurry to leave us, and that's going to keep the weather somewhat unsettled both Saturday and Sunday. To be clear, I don't think either day is going to be an all-day washout. You're going to have windows of dry time, especially in the mornings and the evenings. Could have a shower then too, but it's really going to be the afternoons that have the highest chance of more widespread coverage. Sunday's probably the day that our odds are going to be a little bit higher than Saturday. Nonetheless, if you have plans out there, keep the rain gear nearby. You might need it. But again, I think we're going to have some pockets of some dry weather. 1 to 2 inches expected for northeast Oklahoma. Those numbers drop off somewhat quickly the further south you go. I think a lot of us fall anywhere between about a ½ inch upwards of 1.5 inches, with many locations south of Interstate 40 falling below an inch. It's important to point out, though, that if we get one of those big cells that just dump a whole bunch of rain and doesn't move much, like what happened in Sallisaw earlier this week, well, these numbers could be just blown out of the water. But broadly speaking, this is about how much we would expect on average. It's pretty saturated out there. We've seen a decent amount of rain, especially for July standards, right? So some isolated flooding can't be ruled out. Isolated severe storm, also possibility. Chances are somewhat low, but a level 1 risk for all of East Oklahoma, a good chunk of northwest Arkansas, and even portions of the River Valley. Wind would be the primary concern if a storm is to pulse up. Let's talk about the dust. We get it every couple of times every summer. Our first wave arrives really overnight tonight. It's moving up from the Gulf. That dust often stays relatively elevated in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So for many folks, it doesn't produce any air quality concerns or respiratory issues. But if you are really sensitive to stuff in the air, you might just be mindful of it going into tomorrow. It does get thick. Skies are going to look a little hazy, a little milky out there, especially by tomorrow afternoon into the evening. But as that front comes in, those winds pushing out of the north, it's going to push a lot of that dust out of the area by Saturday morning. Looks like we could get another shot of it probably mid to late next week. 92 tomorrow's high temperature in northwest Arkansas under a mostly sunny sky. Clouds are on the increase this weekend. It's going to be muggy, but despite those clouds, it's still going to feel hot, upper 80s, some minor relief out there. Again, I think Sunday's the day we see more widespread rain. Still, though, not an absolute washout. That front doesn't necessarily want to move out of the area anytime soon, so we'll have some unsettled weather in your forecast for Monday as well, but by Tuesday and Wednesday, things are starting to dry out, sunshine peeking back out. As a result, it gets warm. 95 Tuesday, 96 on Wednesday. Some very minor relief. I'm going somewhat conservative in my numbers for now. Thursday, Friday, the two of our main weather models are both hinting at a cold front that's a little bit stronger than the one we're going to get this weekend, arriving sometime around Thursday of next week. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, so I'm going conservative for now. A lot can change in 7 days, as we well know. But there's some evidence that maybe it's going to be one of those summer fronts that, oh, okay, it's nice outside for a day or two before it gets hot again, right? We'll see how it tracks over the next couple of days, but maybe Thursday, watch that one for another front to slide through.
Which goes perfectly with what we talked about a couple of days ago with July being below average or slightly below average.
My goodness, yeah. So I pulled the data, the almanac data back to the 1800s. Next week, and I think it was Tuesday, is the average first 100-degree reading in Fort Smith. We're not anywhere close to that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a few degrees, but we're not at risk of hitting it anytime soon.
Okay, all right.